Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. We have got just this tiny little strip left to do on this field up here, and we've got an equally small patch to do down the bottom. I went and refilled this with corn at the end of the last episode, or near the end of the last episode I think it was, and it was pointed out that I didn't refill the fertilizer, despite the fact that it's really low. I'll be honest, I didn't actually think of the fertilizer, but looking at it, I don't think we're going to need to worry about it anyway. It uses it up really slowly, so I don't think we're going to need to worry about that, and I think we'll have enough corn to do all of this up here as well. So we're going to leave that one carrying on doing what it's doing. This one is on its way back. That's what we were doing right at the very end of the episode, and I've got that one right there, which is just finishing out the last of this field over here. So we're just going to reverse you up round here like this. There, and I'm going to manually just pull it down through here so that I can get those couple of little spots that have been left behind there. And there's another one over there. I'm not going to worry about that one for a minute. I'm just going to bring this in around like that, and I'm going to press H right there and let him carry on. So he's going to go on and do that bit, just finish off the last little tiny piece on the field. I've got this one over here, which is loaded up and ready to sell, so I'll drag this one down over to the sell point, and we can empty out that so that we get another $1,500 worth of slurry, and or $1,300 I think it is, and then we can jump back over and we can get that milling machine, which is ours, and the trailer, which is not ours. That's the one that belongs to the merchant. So there, we can start unloading that one, and check you up here. 94 litres of 92 of fertilizer left. I think we'll be alright with the fertilizer on this one. I really do. And I want to jump back to you. Right. Let's keep going. We've got a journey here to do. We've just pulled out of our sail point up there. Let's try to stay on course here, shall we? I'm hoping that this one will actually, there we go, 1,344 harvest income. That's the slurry been sold. I'm hoping that the milling machine will actually load this trailer all right. It's going to be a bit of a jolly nuisance if it doesn't. But then we can drag it from where we are over to the sale point, and we can dump it in there, and that's going to be the manure. We'll be selling the manure straight into there. And that's another little bit of extra money. Again, like the slurry, we're not going to be getting vast amounts of cash for it, but we will be getting some money for it, and some money is better than no money, I figure. So it's like just a little bit extra just to help us along. We've got quite a few different things where we've got just these little bit extras just to help us along, and I quite like it. It's sort of, you know, little bits of regular income. It all adds up to make a much more solid regular income. We've now got the cattle. That's regular income. And then the wool coming off the sheep is not quite so regular, but we are selling it every few days. The milk coming off of the cattle, that's a daily sale. So we get that every single day, regardless. And the price does fluctuate a bit, but we still get the we still get the money coming in every day, which is good. This is what we want. We want regular daily income. Now, we've reached a point where money is starting to become much less of an issue for us. We've got $165,000, which is 165, almost 166,000. But you know, we've got lots and lots of cash. We have got plenty of money. So we could, if we wanted to, go and upgrade our combine again and have an even bigger combine. I don't think we need to. I don't think that's anything that we need to concern ourselves with, considering the size of the combine at the moment and the size of fields we've got. It has been pointed out that the corn header we've got for that combine is probably a bit oversized. and really there should be a bigger combine to go with a corn header of that size, or a smaller corn header to go with a combine of that size. Alright, I confess I didn't know anything about corn headers. I've never ever been involved with combining corn, and I was curious why the width of them was smaller. It does make a lot of sense now that I actually put a bit of thought to it. I just didn't actually think about it previously. Like the height of the crop and how much there is, yes, it does make a lot of sense. So I mean, I suppose in theory you would just go, if you had a wider header like we've got now, you would just drive the combine a bit, well, a bit more slowly, quite a bit more slowly, I would say, and then it would still work. Now, the Helper J has just completed their task. It didn't look like Helper J up the top had an awful lot of fertilizer left. It really didn't. But we have completed that bit. I'm just going to do the couple little spots here with this tractor, and I will double check the one at the top before I put it into 5 times speed to make sure that we have got everything planted correctly. I'm not going to run you into the middle of the yard. I'm going to run you over this way, and we're going to get ready to actually sell some manure from here as well. That would be quite cool if we could do that. So I'll bring you over here, and I'll stop you there for a minute, and then we will jump over to other machinery. I'm going to do this one first. So what have we got in here? We do have a patch down there that we need to go to, and that one looks like he's done just about everything up there as well. So I've got a little tiny bit right there, which honestly is a nothing and isn't worth really worrying about. The bit that I do want to do is the bit over next to the sign over here. That's about the only bit that I would consider worth bothering with. However, as we've got these little spots all the way along here, I'm going to go and pick them out. Just because they're going to bug me today. I don't know why, but they're irritating me today. Just the very fact of their existence irritates me today. And they don't always, but today they do. So we will pull that across there, and then there's one last little bit there. Right, we have done this field here. The canola is now planted, so I will fold that one up and go race. There's 2 more bits. There's 2 more bits. I can see them. Are we going to be unfolded before I get to them? 3 bits. 3. This is a travesty. We're going to plant all of this field today. Do that bit right there, and I'll just leave it down so that we can do that bit right there. Right, so now we have done it, and I can pull back into the yard like this. That one is finished with. I've got to go and move all of that machinery over there, so I'm just going to have the tractor stop there so that he's ready, and then we're going to take this one, and I'm going to run it round over to the slurry again. Possibly the last load of slurry that we'll be taking with this one for at least a little while. Just because we will have filled it all up. We've got manure that we need to sort of work through and do that. But this is likely to be the last slurry tanker of slurry. I think that there will be some from here, and then we'll also get some from the pigs. And that'll be it. So I'll go to there like that. 23,000. So we're going to empty out the cattle. And that means we'll go over and we get a little bit from the pigs over there, over that side. And then once that's done, then everything's done. We've got... See, I told you. Absolutely no problem whatsoever finishing off all of the corn up here. And we've got all of the field planted. And we've got fertilizer to spare. Look at that. We've got 5 litres of fertilizer to spare across this entire field. And we've actually got a little bit there that needs to be planted. There's a little corner right there. Let's go. I've actually... Oh, I see. I've got the front one selected. I need to go there and select the back one and do that. 2 litres of fertilizer. 2 litres to spare. Right. That's everything. That's fantastic. 2 litres of fertilizer to spare across that entire field. So there we go. I was right not to go and top it up with fertilizer. I was absolutely spot on correct with that. And we didn't need that extra. All those panicky comments about how I've gone and forgotten the fertilizer and I'm going to go back and get some more. Oh, ye of little faith. I had it absolutely perfectly planned and timed, and there was no error whatsoever. I even had 2 litres of fertilizer left over after I was finished. Right, we will speed that up to 5 times speed like that. Start you up. So I got 23,000 litres of slurry in here. And I'm just going to top this one up with a little bit from the pigs. There isn't much from the pigs over here. There's a little bit of slurry in there, and there's even less manure in over there. So I will load that. So we got 18,000 litres of slurry in there. So I can just take out this tanker load right there. I didn't even realise there was a sight glass on the back. I literally just noticed that. I had no idea that we could see the absolute, rather than having to rely on the gauge on the screen over there, we've got an actual gauge here where we can see this tanker filling up with political promises right there. And we got a visual check of the quantity of political promises that are located within this tanker. Now, for those of you who think that, that's amusing but don't really get the reference, in FS19 there was a tanker pack that we had, and when you had slurry in the tanker, it had a great big thing written down the side of it that said political promises. It was absolutely beautiful. It looked fantastic, and it was the most fitting thing that you could ever find on a slurry tanker, and I would love to see that. If I ever do have a farm of my own and we've got an actual slurry tanker there, I will pay to have the words political promises printed down the side of that slurry tanker, just because it is the most fitting thing that you will ever find for a slurry tanker. It's absolutely spot on perfect. You could not hope for better. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Now, come on round here. We're going to lower this one down. So what are we going to be getting for our manure? We have in here 44 per 1,000 litres for slurry is what we've been getting. We're going to get 56 per 1,000 litres for the manure, which is an absolute fortune in slurry, in manure. It's just a fortune, full stop. Right, that will start there, just sort of working in. I've got to get close enough so that it loads. But I've also got to get it loading. I think I've got to keep it moving to be able to actually go into the front of the... Oh, no. Going to the front of this one, you've got to go forward a bit. It's a strange thing that happens with any heaps. Like, if you take a bucket to the edge of the heap, it doesn't always work properly. It doesn't always go and pick up from the very edge of the heap for some strange reason. And it does the same with this milling machine as well. You've got to, you stick it right in the middle of the heap, and it doesn't allow you to just run it in from the very bottom of the heap. And I've never quite been sure why it's got to do it like that. You've got to go right up into the middle of it like that, which you wouldn't do if you were... if you had it like that, you would dig it from the bottom. You always dig from the bottom. You don't dig from the middle of the heap. It just makes a terrible mess everywhere, and you don't want to do that. So we need to put this down here like this. Now what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to unhitch the milling machine when I've finished loading and leave the milling machine here, because the milling machine itself does have a capacity of 100 litres. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to have the capacity of the milling machine. I don't want that one to be full. I don't want that one's 100 litres to be sort of running around with us, because if we go next to a trailer or anything that will accept an offload, then we're not gonna, like, we won't be able to do anything with it. We're not gonna be, like, it will unload into it. So if we go past a trailer, it's gonna go and stick 100 litres into a trailer, which we don't want to do. So we need to leave that one there so it doesn't auto unload into something, and then we can go and take the 45,000 litres here. Now normally when you're pulling a trailer around, it doesn't unload very easily. Like, you struggle to, like, it doesn't fill properly with that milling machine, just the distances and that involved. This one, however, has loaded it properly, which is very cool. I'm actually quite pleased with that. So I'll bring you over to here. I'm only going to do one trailer load this evening, and we will go to you. We'll drive this one up the road, and we will park this tanker next to the milk tanker up there. These belong to the merchant. They're not ours. They're nothing to do with us. The same with the truck. That's not ours either. These are just delivery items. The merchant is coming to the farm and purchasing the political promises and purchasing the milk, things like that. So you wouldn't need to be transporting them out for someone who is coming along and picking them up themselves. You would never need to do that. So for that reason, we can leave. All of this is over here, and we don't own it. This is not our farm. This is nothing to do with us. So I'm going to unhitch that one right there, and I'm going to leave it there, and you're going to stop there as well. That tractor there, we'll go and do something with you. So I'm going to bring this one over onto the sail point like this. Right there, and then I'm just going to start tipping. So it's got a little ram on the back there to start tipping that. Then the whole of the back of the trailer will tip up. 45,000 litres of manure is... The merchant has already come and picked it up. He's come in here in his Durante trailer and he's picked it up and he's gone off, and now he's about to tell us how much he's willing to pay us for this. And we do it on a weight basis, so he has to go over and go back and he weighs it up. $2,527,000. That's not bad. You know, if you have that as a continuous feed of income, that's pretty good, actually. I'm quite pleased with that. I'd say that is something that we can be quite pleased with. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm not going to let you go any further than that. And I don't want these two. The only thing we got left is start tidying up the yard, really. I've washed those two down. I'll wash this one down here. Then we need to get tractor onto some of this and start putting it away over in the shed. And we're also going to want to be dealing with feeding our livestock and just generally cleaning up the pens that we've got to do tomorrow. So just the daily tasks that are generally needed with running the farm. We've got to do all of that as well. So that one's cleaned off there. But I'm not going to do any of that tonight. We're going to now go 120 times speed like that. And we're going to get to 8 p.m. We're going to skip the night. It's not going to take very long now. The only thing that we've got left, I think... Actually, I don't know. Do we have one more round of fertilizer that we need to apply to the fields or not? We might not. What we are going to have to do is deal with weeds. So it's 8 o'clock at the moment. So we're going to go for our 11-hour break right there to take us through until 7 a.m. At 7 a.m. we have to get the milk tanker come in and collect the milk from the cattle. So that's why I've set it on 1 time speed for a moment. So then we can have a look in here. Now we've got growth in there. It's the first growth stage. And everything is covered in weeds. That one's fertilized. This one needs fertilizer. So I've got to put fertilizer on this field, and we want to weed all of the fields. Now I've got tractors for doing weeding. But this up here, like, you wouldn't really put mechanical weeders on plants like that, would you? That wouldn't work out very well. These, we could use this fleet on the field down here. I'm not going to do that either. Now, I can't go and do any of these tasks. I need to have it on 5 times speed to be going and doing any of that. The only reason we have it on 1 times is so that we can go and sell the milk this morning. So we have to sell the milk, and then it goes back onto normal speed. So I need to go and gather up the milk that we've got there at the yard. So we run back over to you. And we come into the yard, into the farm through our normal route. Swing up round beside the cattle. Pick up the milk and then bring it down, and that goes on to the sale point, and then that's it. That's done. I'm going to put the weed sprayer on, and we're going to do herbicide across the fields. I'm not going to worry about having the fleet of tractors with the 3 little weeders there. It was quite a time-consuming task, and mostly it was just sort of to see what it was like more than anything else. I don't want to be going all the way around the back with this one, do I? I want to go this way. We go round here, up round the front of the cattle pen. And I'll bring you in over this side. Wool for the sheep over there. I'll check the wool in a minute after I've done the milk sale. Let's back you up there. 26,000 litres of milk this morning. Right, let's have a look and see how we're doing. So we've got 246. We are 4 sheep away from maximum capacity. Cows over here, we've got 185. We're 15 cows away. We've got another animal coming in 4 hours' time. So we're 15 to go there, 4 to go with the sheep. Pigs over here at 123. We're getting another animal every hour and a half. And we're all right for food here. We just need to clean them up and put a bit of straw in for them, just to keep that all filled out. And then we've got the chickens here. And honestly, it's not really worth selling the chickens. I was selling a few of them every now and then, but it's not really worth the effort. Wool was something that I wanted to check. Silage, I see the prices come down. Wool is 1,033, and the price is still going up, so we'll wait until that maxes out before we go and sell it. Milk, the price is up a little bit at the moment, which is good. That's what we like. I'm going to have to do a little bit of shunting here so that I can get around there. I didn't actually see what the full price for was. What the price? 1,071. Is that up or down? I'm not actually sure. I think that is up. I think it hovers around about 1,000 per 1,000 litres for milk on the hardest difficulty settings, which is what we've got it on. And I just need to let that go through. Then we can jump back to the standard 5 times speed. I need to get a tractor set up so that I can start doing the spraying. I'm going to use the case for that, and we'll go round the whole field. And then I'll stick a Deutz onto the fertilizer spreader, and we'll spread fertilizer on the bottom field. So there is another $28,000 coming in. We jump now to 5 times speed. This one is just going to go up here, and it's going to park up. Something I didn't check with the cattle. Pigs at the moment, they've got 18,000 litres of slurry. The cattle have got 23,000 litres of slurry. So I do, in theory, have 1 tanker load of slurry that I could take away and sell if I wanted to. I don't want to at the moment. We'll do that when we've got, like, several loads, and we'll have the tanker on and work, you know, just kind of, like, do it backwards and forwards like we were doing before. I can just run round, we load it up, then we can move it, unload it, and so on and so forth, and just have a day where we sell a whole load of the slurry all at once. It's not really worth worrying about $1,300 at the moment. It's very difficult to reverse this thing. You haven't got much of a turning circle on this. It's a very poor turning circle on this. In fact, I'm just going to leave it there on the side of the road. That's close enough. I'm happy with that. We can leave it right there. So next up, I don't want you. You're going to stay there. I don't want any of those. I want this one. This is the machine that I want. And at the moment, I've got things in the way. So what I'll do is I'll bring that one up to there. And I'll unhitch that one there like that. And then I'm going to go and get this rake. Put that one on. There like that. Move back out of the way so we can come on round here. Now, we've got only the first growth stage on the field. So, hang on. The rake goes over here, doesn't it? We put the rake over here. So I'm actually going to drive that one through here. But what I'm going to do first, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to make sure that we've got everything repaired up. Yes. Right, it doesn't have the front weight, but then I don't think the front weight being out of repair is actually going to impact the performance of anything whatsoever. Well, I can't see that it could. I cannot see the logical reasoning behind that one having any effect whatsoever on anything. So the rake is going to sit there like that, at that angle. Then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to go and get our sprayer. And tractor is just going to stay exactly as it is. I'm not going to make any other changes to the tractor. I just want to get the sprayer. I'm 99% certain I don't need the row crop tires on it at the moment. I'm full of herbicide. The only check that I want to do for the herbicide is... not for the herbicide, for the tires. Like on here, that's absolutely fine. It's not going to do it. But it's whether it will do it with the first growth stage on corn. I know with the first growth stage on sugarcane it does it, but it's not going to do it on here. So we are fine. We can unfold that one. I'm going to need to manually go around the field and do one pass all the way around the outside, which is going to take a little bit of time for us to do. And then once I've done that, I can set the hired help going, and it will be able to do all of the rest. So that one's going to go out like that, and we're away. So I can go on round here. We're going to make sure that we get as much yield as possible. This one's already had its second coat of fertilizer on this field, so we're not going to need to worry about that. The only thing that we need to do with this field is get rid of weeds. The other field, that needs fertilizer as well. So once I've done my round around the outside on here, I will then set the hired help running, and we will get the... get another tractor, and we can start working on putting fertilizer onto the other field. Although it'll be next episode before we get to doing that, I should think. But yeah, that won't take very long. The only thing that I dislike about doing the spraying is that it's so slow. I know that you've got like a really wide bar on it, and so you do cover a lot of ground with your slow pass, but it is still slow, isn't it? So like if you want to do just once around the field, it still takes a long time to be able to do it, just because of the length of time that it takes to actually do your circumnavigation of the field. And so it makes it a bit of a tedious job, which is why I don't really like doing it. I prefer just turning weeds off. If I can, I just turn the weeds off, and then I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to worry about doing herbicide or raking, because either herbicide or raking, they're both very slow, tedious jobs. Both of them, yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually just going to go in a straight line along here, so that there's less of a sort of a bit stuck out on the side. It might make it easier for the hired help to go through and do everything that it wants to do a bit later. I don't know. It might not. It might not have any difference on it at all, but it may help. And I was also thinking of starting the spraying job from the top of the field. I normally start from right down the bottom, right, just the bit where I get to. You know, I go all the way around the field, and then I carry on from there with setting the hired help, and it works up across the field. I was thinking of coming up here to the top this time, and starting up here, and seeing how it copes. See how it gets on with it, whether it does do a slightly better job or not. I mean, it might. It might do a better job. Over here as well, I'm going to just kind of keep that going in a straight line-ish. I know it's not quite a straight line. But again, it might be something that helps us out a little bit. I think what I will do is once I get all the way down to the bottom corner of the field, I will run over and refill the herbicide before I start doing the rest of the field. And I'm also not going to go and do around the big stone at the moment. I'll wait until I have done the rest of the field. Once I've done the entire field, then I will go do whatever needs to be done around the stone. I'm curious just to see what it does around that stone, whether it makes any difference to it, what it's going to look like how well it copes with doing everything that it needs to do. I'm also thinking that maybe we should go around the other field as well before we set hired help doing anything. Maybe, no, we won't do that yet. We've got to go and do fertilizer down there. And then we've also got a whole load of work to do in the yard as well. We've got all of our animals to go and look after. Let's have a look in here at the wool. The wool at the moment is still going up. We're 1,042. We'll keep an eye on that, and once the wool reaches maximum, once that little green arrow disappears and we've got the absolute maximum amount of money that we're going to get, we will go and purchase wool. Now, with the amount of crops that we've got at the moment, we've got some corn and we've got some barley in storage. Barley or wheat or something there. The food for the pigs, right? We've got that there. The pigs and the chickens. We've got some of each, but we don't have enough to fill the pigs up completely. With all of the corn that we get from this field, there is a chance that this will be sufficient to fill the pigs up to 300 pigs. We could fill it all the way up to the top. There is a good chance that we will actually have enough to do that. And there is also a chance that the canola that we're growing over there will be enough. Although I suspect that one is less of a chance. I suspect that we're not going to have enough over there to be able to completely fill up the pig pen. So what we're going to want to do, I think, is do a canola crop in this field here, and wheat or barley down in that field down there, and not do corn. I think we're going to have enough corn to be able to fill the pig pen up completely with this here. I don't know, though. I'm not quite sure. This is just me guessing at the minute. So it could end up being that we don't have enough, and we've got to go and get a whole load more yet. Right, that is everything down to there. I can see the weed in this little kind of tail bit right here. I can see some weeds in here. It's a bit difficult to make them out, but I can see some of them. So I'm just bringing this one up until what I think looks like most of them. There. It sort of looks like where I came through. And then I'm going to fold this one up. And I am going to go round the other field. Like, I've got enough. I got 46% in the herbicide tank. So if I just go once round the outside of this field, that's all the manual stuff that we're going to need to do. But we'll start doing that in our next episode. We haven't got time today. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really liked it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.